Hello, 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 everyone. It is me, the Mama Mogul here, Samil, with someone so special. I'm so excited to have her on today to share with you all so many gems and advice and information that she has pent all up in there. And I feel like I'm just super important to have her on my platform first before she just blow up for real. But yes, look how she's very humble. But yes, today I have Miss Raven Diggs Hardy.
Hey,
Hey, how are you doing, Raven?
I'm good. Life's crazy, but I'm good.
Yes, I can imagine. I can imagine. I want to give everybody a little disclaimer. I have the smallest one here with us today, so he may make some noise, but we're gonna keep it moving because that's what moms on the move do. Mompreneurs, we balance many hats, and the show has to go on even if the baby is there. Raven is from Fort Worth, Texas, my birthplace. She is a woman of many hats. Like I said, a mom, wife, and don't forget, boss, entrepreneur. She also works in the corporate health field. She's the owner of Addictive Cakery. She makes custom cakes and a selection of desserts. Her business allows her to explore different digital platforms on social media, marketing, content curation, and video editing. Her and her husband have recently become business partners and they're diving into so many platforms and business ventures. And I'll let her tell you a little bit more about that. But Raven is a mom of two, and she enjoys traveling, cooking, juicing, laughing, and exploring. She is everything, like I just said. But she did say being a mom and wife is something that she's always dreamed of since she was 5. So, yes, 5. She put some emphasis on that. So, I'm going to let her tell her story, but you are welcome, Miss Raven, to Mama Moments.
Hey, thank you. I love you, Camille.
I love you, Raven. That's why you here, because I love you.
But yeah,
Yes.
really, like you said, it's just that simple. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a business owner. I started baking a few years ago and just turned it into a business, and it's just bloomed. I started out just making desserts. But then I started making cakes, and then I was like, I like making cakes.
Mm. And
So
those cakes
that's
are
what,
good.
yeah. So that just took off unexpectedly. I did not expect to be doing custom cakes and things like that, but that is like my love, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm gonna insert some of her work. You guys, these cakes look amazing and they taste even better. And not to shade anybody else, but sometimes you get cakes and they look good, but they don't taste good. Or you get a cake that tastes good and it may not look good. But Ravens both are on the mark.
Thank you.
Yes. So how is it being a mom of two? I've known Raven since she was itty bitty. So to see her in mama mode is just it makes me tear up. I'm sure folks above me be like, Samila's a mom, but seeing Raven in that mode, it just makes me so happy. How is it being a mom of two?
It is crazy. Like sometimes I still don't even believe I'm a mom. Like I got kids.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's rewarding. Like being a mom, it makes you feel like a superhero because you're balancing everything that you had before becoming a mom. And now you're a mom, and you have these kids to tend to, and you're doing that. You're doing what you did before you had kids and businesses. It's just, I don't know. You feel like a superwoman, basically.
Yes. Having to juggle and balance, and you are married. So how long have you been married again?
I've been married we're going on 5 years, so 4.5 years. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, I met him in 2012, so about 12 years ago.
Wow.
Sweethearts.
Yeah, like that's so special. Just really growing through life and seeing each other at where, like you said, y'all were in high school, and then you
We've changed, like changed, going from high school to adulthood, parenthood. It's like, oh, we had some struggles, but we done got through it. But the struggles came because, of course, we grow. We figuring ourselves out. We figuring each other out. Like, but it's all good.
Yeah, definitely. Like I was just sharing with someone the other day, you know, I've learned so much through marriage, even just about myself. And I think that's definitely what it's about, growing and learning. And then when you can do it together, it makes it even more special, you
Mhm.
know, and being able to tell people like it wasn't easy because just like I'm a changing person, together we're changing people, and we have to be able to adapt and say, okay, is this something I still like about you? You know, it's
Yeah.
like you can stop liking somebody for a little bit. You love them with all your heart, but you
Yes.
know, 100% of the time you might not like them, you know. So, you know, being able to know, hey, I'm in this, I know that that's just like special when you get through that hurdle.
Yes, it's like my best friend, my road dog.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So, like, what are some strategies or techniques that you use to stay organized? You know, you're balancing all these hats. How do you stay organized?
Honestly, I might sound very boring, but I have a I have a planner. Me, I have to write things down and see it. So I have a planner, you know, any little event, any little thing that I need to do, I write it in my planner. And then I have a dry erase marker board, whatever, on my fridge. So literally when I wake up in the mornings, I write down each task that I need to do for that day. I'm talking about like tasks as simple as fold some clothes, like go to the mail, check the mail, because I'm a mom. I forget a lot. So I just write everything down, and that's how I go about my day. That's how I go about being organized, just writing everything down, making sure I see it.
Definitely no. I for sure have to write things down. That is not boring at all. Like if I don't mark it off, like I'm still so old school to where I use a pencil and pen. I know they have so many apps, you know, to keep
Yeah.
you organized. And I try to put it in my reminder too, but no. I have to write it and mark it off and see the line through it to know, hey, I can move on to the next thing.
Yes, like I thought I was crazy for doing that because they have all of these apps and I just don't use them. Writing down is just the best thing for me.
No, definitely, definitely. So like what role does your spouse play in supporting your ambitions, and how does he help, you know, you stay balanced, or you all stay balanced with motherhood and wifehood and bosshood?
Um, he's basically, I call him my assistant. I mean, you married an entrepreneur, so you like my assistant, but no, he's very supportive. Like, if I'm baking long nights, he in the kitchen doing the dishes as I'm baking. Bathing kids for me when I don't have time to do anything, playing with the kids a little bit more if I'm busy over here. Like, he just comes in where I lack. That's basically my teammate. That's as best as I can put it. My teammate. He picks up where I lack.
Definitely, definitely. No, that's so important to have a supportive partner. That, you know, hey, I see you. You know, some people try to, I don't know, you know, like I'm not into, you know, gender roles or whatever, but you know, it is like, okay, I do this most of the time. So for you to see that this is something I do most of the time and say, hey, I got it, you know,
Mhm.
let me step in. Like you said, that's your teammate, that's your partner, you know. So seeing that is super important for somebody to see, for your partner to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so and then what they say, your husband or wife or partner becomes your assistant. It's just that's like the norm. Hey, you should know you're my free assistant. I may pay you in other ways, but you're my assistant.
Exactly. And of course, like starting these businesses, he was like, I'm doing a lot of the stuff that basically men feel like women should do.
Mhm.
No, he was like, I'm kind of doing a lot of this. I don't know if I signed up for this, but we worked through it. We worked through it. And whatever we're doing now, it works.
Definitely, definitely. And business is thriving and hot going higher. I see you on social media and doing your thing. Like, so with your content, sometimes we get a glimpse of him, but how does he feel about, your social presence and, the kids being in the videos? How does he feel about that?
I mean, he likes it. He supports it. He's not the social media person. He's not the one in front of the cameras or anything. So of course he's not going to be in a lot of my videos, but he supports everything. If I need something set up, hand it to me in the video. He's right there in the background. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, what kind of support system outside of your husband, or resources do you rely on to help you navigate the demands of both, motherhood and entrepreneurship?
Honestly, family. My mom is here, my granny, my dad. Whenever I need the kids to be somewhere where I need to get business done, they're literally like a call away. They all support my business. They think I'm gonna go high, so they gonna make sure that they gonna play their part in me going higher in my business. So yeah, really just family.
So, you say your family is there to support you, mom, grandma, dad, everybody's there on post ready. That has to feel so good, just knowing like I have my village.
Yeah, it does because I notice a lot of people don't have that. And it's like, if I didn't have that, I would literally go crazy. Of course, I have, like we said, my husband, but we need other people outside of us, it's kind of help raise the kids, help keep things afloat, help keep us sane. Like, I just thank God that I have that.
Yeah, it is a blessing, Raven, because for one, I am now very selective about how I explain this because I do have a village, but I don't. Ideally, I always imagined that when I would have kids, that mom would be readily available and there, dad, aunts, cousins. But, since I live so far away from everybody, that definitely it gets to me at times. Mom comes to visit often, my dad comes to visit often, but I just imagine like how much more I could get done, or just even having those husband and wife time. It's just a little difficult sometimes to navigate that, but I have learned to stop complaining because I do have some friends who have stepped in and whenever they have time, because they have families of their own, try to help us as much as they can. But I definitely have matured in a way where I have to realize, like, this is okay for now. This is a sacrifice, and the reward will be at the end. It's not going to be too much longer because these kiddos are growing quickly, and it'll get lighter. So I don't try to, think of it as a total negative thing, even though I do desire them being local. So that is a blessing, and I'm glad that you have that because it is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So you should have friends. I wish I had more. All my mom friends seem to be out of state. Like,
no, Raven, I don't have any local mom friends. Yeah, I'm serious. Like, the one friend that came to visit us today, her daughter is a teenager. So she comes and she's like, god mommy, auntie to the kids, which I'm super appreciative of her, because her specifically, she's one that is pretty much there all the time. And then I have a couple other friends who don't have kids, and whenever they have time, they try to come to the events or whatever. But no, most of my mom friends are in Texas. Yeah, so it's all what is it, FaceTime and virtual. Yeah, so I guarantee if I was locally, we could do mom stuff. Yeah. Now that my son's in elementary school, I'm trying to create bonds with some of his friends' mom, not forcing it, but just seeing where I can, just be able to connect and converse. And it's been okay. Like I said, I don't want to force it, but it works out okay.
That's I said I'm looking forward to that. But then again, I don't know. I kind of have anxiety doing that, but I'll just see when my kids get that age.
Yeah, no, so therapy. Look, let's put that out there. I am an advocate for therapy because I once was like, I don't need therapy. But it has been so helpful, especially now in this transition, having 3 kiddos of different age groups, so that has been a transition, and talking to a therapist has helped me understand some things, especially about anxiety, and trying not to be as anxious and fight or flight mode all the time. Yeah, so if you all are feeling that, definitely get counseling or speak to a therapist or your doctor and see what recommendations they have. But just know you are not alone, and that there are a million other moms feeling like that on the daily. Please share with us any tips or advice for other mothers who are trying to balance these hats. What would you like to say to them?
I would just say breathe, and take your time. Don't rush. Prioritize as much as you need to, but anything that you may feel like you didn't get done, don't beat yourself up about it, and just make sure to prioritize your kids enough to where you're spending enough time with them. And yeah, that's really just it. Just prioritize your kids. No matter how big business is, no matter how good business is booming, just continue to make time for your kids because you're their only mom. And business is gonna be there, but you need to always just be there supporting your kids.
Definitely agree. I may have shared this on another interview, I don't know, but I used to have a neighbor, and he's a well-known person. And for one, when I found out he was my neighbor, I'm like, what are you doing here? But all in all, one day I was coming home, or I came home with the kids. Well, actually, it was just my son at the time. So I came home with my son, and we were fussing about something. I'm like, come on, get in here. And he went we were going in the house, and he's like, let me just chat with you, because he had seen us before coming in. And when I saw him, I was a little like, and so I was like, sure, we can chat. And he's like, what do you do? Things like that. And I was like, well, it's funny you asked, because at the time I was strictly just pursuing acting, because that's what I moved here for. And I'm like, well, I'm an actress and a writer, and I have a production company, right? And he's like, oh, that's awesome. And I was like, yeah, but right now I'm not doing anything because, I'm just in mommy mode or whatever. He's like, well, let me tell you something. When my kids were little, me and my wife, we decided, or I decided, I'm speaking as him, that I would not work for a while, and I would stay home with the kids. And the wife was like, are you sure you want to do that? Knowing that as this profession, jobs don't come like that all the time, so are you sure that you want to do that? And he's like, yeah, I don't want a nanny or somebody, outside of the family raising my kids. So, just chill. We're going to be okay. Like, let me be a father to our kids. And he said for a whole, I think 2.5 years, he was full-time dad at home with the kids. And, he was saying that once they got, a little bit older and both of them were kind of settled and everything, but he was really there during those crucial moments of where they needed a parent with them. You always need a parent, but when you're a baby, it's just best to have a mommy and daddy there, basically. So he was like, as they were getting older, the jobs started flowing in, and he was doing this job here, this job there, his name and lights here, his name and lights there. And his wife was like, I'm glad you did that. I'm glad you were able to do that.
Yeah.
And bringing it full circle, he's like, God is not going to forget the sacrifices you made. And even though it feels slow now, or it feels like you're not doing anything now as it pertains to your passion, there's going to be a point that you look up and everything's going to flow, and your name will be in lights here, and your name will be on this show and this, and you'll be producing this and producing that. But I just broke out in tears because I was like, okay, God, I hear you. And in every chance I get, I always share that story, because the person who shared it is just such a special person. And also the message behind it is so powerful, especially if you believe in God, which I do, and knowing who's your source and how favored you are, that he would never forget you, even when you feel like he's never going to forget you. So I felt like sharing that, too, based on you saying, like, just be there for your kids, because they need mommy, they need daddy, but even when they don't have daddy, they need mommy. They've spent 9 months with mommy, they need mommy. So I'm so happy you shared that, Raven, and I'm so excited for your future and everything that you have coming up. Can you share with everybody where they can follow, where they can support, and also Raven did mention to you all that she has a cakery, but she also has a cake line. So just please share a little bit about that and how they can support. With that, just do your thing, girl.
Yes, I have my own cake mix and buttercream line, just like the Betty Crocker's, Duncan Hines. You can order you some cake mix and some buttercream. You can catch me. I have 6 social media pages. Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Right now, my focus is TikTok. So I'm gonna say what my TikTok is. It is Raven Addictive, and that's RAVEN ADIGGTIV. Okay, we're trying to blow up on TikTok right now.
Go follow, and please support. Like she said, just like the Betty Crockers and the Duncan Hines, we have Addictive Cakery on the bag and on the buttercream, and I've used it on several occasions, baby, and I enjoyed the reviews, because they thought your girl had measured the flour and did everything, but they didn't know that it was Addictive Cakery. Okay.
I love it.
I'm not false, guys. I'm not out here pretending. I didn't even say nothing. I just said, yeah, I made the cake, because I did. I made the cake.
You did.
But no, it tastes so good, guys, and I'm just so excited. Like I said earlier, please support this young lady. She is doing major things. Thank you again, Raven. Kiss those babies. Tell hubby we appreciate him. Give him a big hug, and you guys just support. So I love you all, mamas. Remember, you can do it all. Just stay encouraged.